Hello, friends. Welcome back to Info English Podcast, where we explore interesting stories in simple English. Have you ever looked at something that looks back at you? Not just with eyes, but with a feeling you can't explain. Today, I will take you to a place where a single painting has confused, inspired, and amazed the world for centuries. A painting that doesn't speak, but still says so much. Let me take you into a quiet room in one of the most famous museums in the world. Imagine you are standing inside the Louvre Museum in Paris. There is a crowd around you, people slowly moving forward, trying to get a closer look at something very small, yet very powerful. Behind protective glass, under soft light, hangs a painting. It is not very large, not very bright, but there is something about it that pulls you in. The woman in the painting seems calm, yet her eyes follow you, and her smile feels like it is changing. This is the Mona Lisa. A painting that today is known all over the world, not just for its beauty, but for its mystery. But what makes this painting so special? Why do millions of people come from different countries just to see this one portrait? To understand that, we must go back in time, to the early 1500s, when an artist named Leonardo da Vinci began working on it. Around the year 1503, Leonardo started painting the portrait of a woman. He was not just an artist, but also a scientist and thinker. He studied nature, the human body, and even emotions. For him, painting was not just about drawing a face, it was about capturing life itself. The woman in the painting is believed to be Lisa Gherardini, the wife of a merchant from Florence. She lived a simple life, and nothing about her story suggested she would become one of the most recognized faces in history. Yet, not everyone agrees with this idea. Some people believe that the painting could be Leonardo's own face, imagined as a woman. Others think it might be his assistant, Salai, or even a mix of different faces combined into one. This uncertainty about who she really is makes the painting even more interesting. But the real mystery lies in her smile. When you look directly at her lips, the smile seems very soft, almost disappearing. But when you look at her eyes or move your focus slightly, the smile becomes more visible, as if it is changing. This is not an accident. Leonardo used a special technique called sfumato, where colors are blended very smoothly without clear lines. Because of this, the human eye cannot clearly define her expression, and the brain keeps interpreting it in different ways. Her smile feels alive, not fixed. Leonardo studied human anatomy deeply to create this effect. He observed how muscles move in the face and how light falls on the skin. He understood that a real smile is not still, it changes with emotion. By combining art and science, he created something that feels real even after hundreds of years. One of the most fascinating things about Leonardo is that he never gave this painting away. He kept it with him for many years and continued working on it. When he moved to France in 1516, he took the painting with him. Even after years, he kept improving it, as if it was something very personal to him. After Leonardo da Vinci passed away in 1519, the painting remained in France as part of the royal collection. For many years, it stayed inside palaces, seen only by a few people. Later, after the French Revolution, it was moved to the Louvre Museum, where it became part of public history. Still, even then, it was respected, but not famous in the way we see today. Everything changed in the year 1911. On a normal morning in Paris, something unexpected had already taken place inside the museum. A man named Vincenzo Perugia, who had once worked there, hid inside the Louvre overnight. When morning came, he quietly removed the painting, hid it, and walked out. No alarms, no noise, no panic, just silence. For hours, no one even realized what had happened. But when the truth came out, that the Mona Lisa was missing, the entire world reacted. Newspapers across countries started reporting the theft. People gathered outside the museum. Investigations began. Even famous artists were questioned. The mystery of the missing painting made people more curious than ever. For the first time, millions of people who had never heard of the Mona Lisa suddenly wanted to know everything about it. Ironically, it was not the painting itself, but its disappearance that made it famous. For 2 years, the Mona Lisa was hidden. Perugia kept it quietly, believing he was doing the right thing by returning it to Italy. But eventually he tried to sell it, and that is when he was caught. In 1913, the painting was finally recovered and returned to the Louvre. By then, everything had changed. The Mona Lisa was no longer just a painting. It had become a global story. From that moment, its fame continued to grow. People didn't just see it as art anymore. They saw it as a mystery, a legend, something special. Visitors began coming in large numbers just to stand in front of it. Even today, it is kept behind bulletproof glass, protected carefully, as thousands of people gather around it every day. But even with all this attention, the mysteries of the Mona Lisa never truly ended. One of the most talked about questions remains: why did Leonardo keep this painting with him for so long? Most artists complete their work and give it away, but Leonardo held on to it for years, even taking it with him when he moved to France. Some believe he was never satisfied and kept improving it. Others think it meant something deeply personal to him, something he did not want to let go of. Then there is the mystery of the earlier Mona Lisa. Some researchers believe there might be another version of the painting, possibly created before the final one. In that version, the woman appears younger and her expression is clearer, less mysterious. If this is true, it suggests that Leonardo was experimenting, slowly building toward the final masterpiece. But there is still no clear proof, and the debate continues even today. And of course, the smile remains the greatest mystery of all. Scientists and experts have studied it for years. Some say it is because of how our eyes see light and shadow. Others explain that the brain processes the smile differently depending on where we focus. When you look directly, it seems calm. But when you look away slightly, it feels more alive. It is not just a painting. It is a clever play between art and human perception. When we put all these pieces together, the unknown identity, the changing smile, the missing eyebrows, the possibility of another version, and the dramatic theft, we begin to understand something important. The Mona Lisa is not just famous because it is beautiful. It is famous because it makes people think, question, and wonder. And that brings us to the end of this fascinating story. A mystery that continues to inspire curiosity even today. Before you go, here are 3 useful words with examples. Mystery. Something difficult to understand. Example, the Mona Lisa's smile is still a mystery. Expression. The way feelings are shown. Example, her expression looks different from every angle. Perception. The way we understand something. Example, everyone has a different perception of the painting. Try to use these words in your daily life. I hope you enjoyed this story. Which word was new for you? Tell me in the comments. Check the description for more vocabulary and write a sentence using one of these words. I'd love to read it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep exploring. See you in the next interesting story.